Hey guys, it's Frank here from Altcoin Buzz, and today we're going to look at a couple coins which have caught my eye for different reasons. We will go over some fundamentals, some recent news, and of course a technical analysis on each coin. If you enjoy this content and want to see more of it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button as it really helps to support the channel. Before I get started, I just want to let you know that I am not a financial advisor and that trading and investing presents financial risks. Okay, so starting out today, we have Dash USDT. So Dash has a soft spot in my heart. I remember when it was in the top 10 cryptocurrencies a few years back. Right now, it's fallen to 24th place. But Dash has been around since 2014. So that is over 6 years, February 2014 to August 2020, 6.5 years. So it has stood the test of time, and it has not fallen into oblivion as some of the other top cryptocurrencies have over the years. And I found some interesting fundamentals which show that Dash might be undervalued in addition to the Dash chart. Now, it's not the monthly chart which got me excited, as of course we have basically just seen a massive dump with lower lows and lower highs. That being said, things are starting to look interesting on the weekly chart. And before I go down there, I just want to illustrate to you the potential, the power of this coin. I mean, look at this. Back in February 2017, we saw a meteoric 12,920% rise, going all the way from $12 to $1,570. So just to give you an idea of the strength of this coin when it really gets going. And as I say, in addition to the fundamentals, it looks like an interesting buy, if not now, then very soon. So zooming down now to the weekly chart, we can see that we have a descending wedge. A descending wedge or a falling wedge is characterized by lower lows on the top and lower lows on the bottom. So you might think this is a bearish pattern, but because it contracts and gets tighter and tighter, the theory is that once we break out of this, we can expect a move up. Now, the falling wedge can be a reversal pattern, but it can also fit into the continuation category as demonstrated by school.stockcharts.com. And as you can see here, we have a falling wedge, and once we have a breakout with volume, then there's a nice move up. So Dash is at an interesting point right now because we have 2 days and 23 hours left on this week, and we are currently breaking out of this wedge. That being said, a confirmed breakout will only happen once we have a close above this level. And even then, we would really want to see a bit more volume than what we have right now. But even if we don't, if we get a close cleanly above this $100 level, this would already be a good sign for Dash. As you can see, we have this VPVR on the right, which essentially means that at this price range, as you can see, this biggest bar over here starts at the $66 level, goes up to the $130 level. Within this range, we've seen a lot of price action. There's been a lot of back and forth. Essentially, it's like a fighting match between the bears and the bulls. And in this area, there has been a lot of fighting back and forth. And what makes this interesting is that if we get above it, essentially it says, well, now the bulls have won and they can take the lead to push on full steam ahead. Whereas if we break below it, then of course the bears are in control. But as you can see now, we are kind of in the middle of this range. So really, ideally for a confirmed breakout, you would want to get above $135. But the point is that the bigger picture shows that if we break above this, the gains could be insane because there hasn't been any significant fighting back and forth anywhere above the $136 level. It's pretty much just went up in one fell swoop, came down really hard, and now this is the level that we're fighting for. And if we can find support above this level, it's going to get really interesting. But even so, right now it's already interesting. As I say, we are potentially breaking out of this falling wedge. The MACD is showing a bullish crossover of these moving averages, or in other words, the MACD and the signal line. We're seeing the histogram start to tick up. This is a good sign. And the RSI is very far from being overbought, so still a lot of room to grow. Now, coming back to the fundamentals, there has been news recently about Dash partnering with the Tauros exchange. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Tauros. I studied a bit of Spanish in high school, but I'm not sure if you say Tauros or Tauros. In any case, Tauros.io, an emerging startup in the rapidly growing cryptocurrency ecosystem in Mexico. So Tauros is admittedly not a massive major exchange, certainly not a global exchange, as you can see it's in Spanish, but nonetheless, if they can tap the Latin American market, that's a pretty big market. And Tauros users are now able to request a Visa debit card, which used in conjunction with one's Tauros account will allow users to spend crypto easily and effortlessly. So that's pretty cool. And in addition, as part of the launch activity, any user that receives the card and begins spending will get 2% in dashback rewards for their purchases. So that's an extra incentive for them to get started right away. Now, Cointelegraph arguably had a better title. Dash launches Latin America's first ever crypto debit card. And here they point out that the recent need for contactless payments has helped to accelerate the product offering. And of course, we at Altcoin Buzz have been covering Dash a fair bit. And back in November 2019, we talked about how Dash were already starting to improve crypto adoption in Latin America. They're planning to take over Latin America's crypto space and also improve the adoption in the coming years. As you can see, they are now fulfilling that promise. So they hosted a YouTube video conference back in November 2019, where they had top executives from states like Venezuela, Brazil, Cabimas, Mexico, and also from sectors like Dash Text and Help, etc., all partook in the video conference. We talked about how Dash was one of the top 10 gainers in terms of altcoins for Q1 of 2020. You can see that this was indeed a very nice push up. In January 2020, we went from about $41 all the way to $144 for a 246% gain. Now, unfortunately, we did give that whole move back. But again, this just shows you the kind of strength that this coin can have when it really gets moving. And unlike this big move that we had up here, which was basically just a power pump going up, right now we have something which is really a bit more bullish. And that is this area over here. Let me just get rid of this previous box to make this clearer. This area over here, and I'll put this in yellow for you guys. Now, this is actually a good lesson in technical analysis. What makes this yellow box more bullish than this blue box? I'll give you a second. You can pause it if you want. Basically, it's very simple. This blue box, we saw a massive move up. We broke previous high. Okay, that's great. But we're still technically in a downtrend. For an uptrend, you need a move up, a move down, and a move up. But this blue box just represents a move up. But this yellow box, however, represents a move up, a move down, and then breaking previous highs for an official uptrend. So despite the fact that Dash had a massive move over here, the structure that we're in currently is actually even more bullish. Another feature which I think is pretty cool, it's kind of old news, but still a cool feature, is that Dash launched text payment service back in 2018. And according to dashtext.io, Dashtext is the solution for sending Dash with no internet needed, just by sending a text message to the right phone number. So that's a pretty cool feature. And I like to see products which make crypto easy to send back and forth. And then I also came across this article talking about Litecoin price and transactions grow despite stagnant development. Now, I didn't get really into the Litecoin development side of things, but here they do say that other competing coins tend to have much more active development. So here, the main Dash repository has had several active branches with updates from several hours ago, while the Dash Evolution project, which contains the majority of Dash's current development activity, contains quite a few active repositories. And you can see that by going over to GitHub here on Dash Pay. Now, Messari, unfortunately, for some reason, have 0 commits for Dash over the last 90 days. I'm not entirely sure why. It could be because this is for Dash Pay, whereas this is for Dash itself, or maybe they just haven't recorded it properly. I'm not entirely sure. If anyone knows, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. But I would trust GitHub more than I would Messari, because this is pretty much the source of developer activity. And according to here, you can see that we've had updates, well, just 17 hours ago. Now, one interesting thing that we can see with Messari is the on-chain metrics. So before I get to this, I just want to remind you that Dash is currently in 24th place on CoinGecko out of all the coins in terms of market cap. Now have a look at this. Let's start by looking at transaction volume. So in terms of transaction volume, instead of 24th place, Dash is in 21st place. Okay, that's a good sign, but not too divergent. In terms of median transaction volume, Dash is in 50th place, so this is admittedly not great. I guess they have a lot of smaller payments. People are obviously not transacting as big with Dash as they are with many other coins. But then have a look at this. Active addresses, Dash comes in 8th place with 65,480 addresses. And in terms of fees, over the last 24 hours, Dash comes in 14th place. So apart from the median transaction volume, Dash is above 24th place, or in other words, ranks higher than 24th place. And given that I don't think Dash is going anywhere, that it's pretty much stood the test of time, and that they are developing, I think Dash presents an interesting buy opportunity. Now, what gets even more interesting is if we zoom down to the daily time frame. So first of all, on the daily time frame, if we draw this same triangle on the closes of the daily highs, you can see that we have a close above now. You can see that the volume has really been picking up over the last 7 days or so. And also you can see that this VPVR is way below us. So this is because this VPVR is looking at a smaller time frame. It basically takes everything which you can see in the chart, whereas the weekly chart took everything that you could see in the chart but went back much further. So the daily essentially is looking at the more recent price action, and it's telling us that according to recent price action, the real support level is the $85 level, and that we have broken out of there very nicely. So I am personally looking for Dash to come back to find support approximately at the $90 level, but I would likely want to ladder my orders in down to sort of the $75 level if I could get there. Now, of course, what I think is very important is to look at Dash BTC, because if you're not outperforming Bitcoin, then there's no point in buying Dash. Now, unfortunately, Dash has not been performing well against Bitcoin. This is a bit of a long shot, but if you can get in at the right price, which might be somewhere around where we are right now, this could really explode. And here you're seeing a descending wedge, which is preceding a very powerful bullish move up, where we outperformed Bitcoin by 205%, and we haven't yet taken out that previous low. And of course we came here with massive volume. So there is some reason to believe, considering this is the biggest volume that we've seen for years now for Dash, and considering that we've corrected from here, there's some reason to believe that this is a pretty decent level, or at least a pretty decent cryptocurrency to start thinking about accumulating. Now, admittedly, if we look at this chart, we can see that the current level, approximately the 0.088 level, or the 8,800 sat level, is an important one. We saw a resistance, well, the resistance was just above this at 9,000 sats back in August 2019. Then we found support around the 8,745 sat level for this candle close in March 2020. And of course, now we're right at this level again. So unfortunately, it is possible that we correct from here and come down to see new lows. And certainly if Bitcoin goes parabolic and hits 15K, that is a possibility. So that's something to stay aware of. Bitcoin is looking very bullish right now. So it's only natural that Dash BTC would suffer if Bitcoin, for example, gets to 15 or 20K in the next few weeks, which is not entirely impossible. So what you would really want to see on Bitcoin is that we would see a consolidation pattern. As you can see here, between May and July 2020, Bitcoin was consolidating, and you would want to see something like that where Bitcoin starts ranging. Now, Bitcoin is currently in a move up, so admittedly, now may not be the best time to get into Dash BTC, but it is worthy to note that if we break this, let's say the 9,000 sat level to be safe, then there is a very good chance that we will break out definitively of this falling wedge on Dash BTC, and this would almost certainly have us breaking out of the falling wedge on Dash USDT, and then there's no telling how high we'll go from there. At the very least, we would be targeting the previous high, which for Dash BTC would give you a 75% gain, but for Dash USDT, so coming back here to Dash USD on Poloniex, we could see a 105% gain at the very least, coming to these previous highs, I think, at the $200 range. All right, that's it for Dash. I would watch out for future development. You can check out the Dash Reddit They have 35,000 members, of which 500 almost are online. In general, I think it's a good community. I like the people who are involved with Dash that I know of, and it's certainly one to watch out for. And as I said, I will personally be waiting for Bitcoin to make another big move up. But if Dash starts breaking out of the 9,000 sat level on Dash BTC, I will certainly be looking for a potential entry too.